Hi, welcome back to Tiny Classrooms Live.
Hi, the doctor here, Don Zulu in Taos, New Mexico.
And I'm Artie Nathan, the HR guy here in Las Vegas, Nevada.
And as every week, Maike Benner from Frankfurt, Germany.
And joining Lillerode from Frankfurt as well.
And our topic today is going to be emotional intelligence, what it means and how you might want to use it in times of crisis.
Maybe we should start out with a real simple explanation, description of what emotional intelligence is. And it's often also known as EQ, or emotional quotient. And it's the ability to understand and to use and to manage your own emotions in a positive way, right? To relieve stress, communicate effectively, empathize with others, overcome challenges, and diffuse conflict. It's social awareness. You have empathy if you have emotional intelligence. And there are five sort of general categories, one being self-awareness, the other self-regulation, the ability to control yourself, motivation, empathy, and social skills. And maybe we begin to talk about, discuss self-awareness.
Well, that's interesting, Don. That was a very good definition. I suspect that most leaders are scared of the term because they don't know exactly what it is and they may not be using it. But certainly during these times of crisis, during this pandemic, this sounds like a good skill to have.
That's for sure. And I think also emotional intelligence is used more like a buzzwords without people and leaders really know what it is about. And if you talk about the first point, self-awareness, this is the crucial one, because I always say you can only be a leader if you can lead yourself. And you can lead yourself if you are aware about your strength, about your weakness, and if you are aware about your surrounding, about your team. And I'm talking about this special time this year, so also going remotely. And a lot of leaders had the challenge to lead their teams remotely. And this is exactly where they have to figure out, okay, who am I? So what are my values? How can I transfer those values even through a camera lens to my people as well, and also still keep them motivated and still keep them on board, and also have the empathy and really give a call, not only about work, but really check and ask, okay, how are you? How is your family? Are you healthy? Is the home office set up okay? Can we do something for you? So really going this path as well.
I really think that emotional intelligence needs to be developed, or at least can be fostered. And of course, the earlier that occurs, the better. But we have a situation for many years, maybe even decades, and maybe this can also be confirmed from the US perspective, that especially young people growing up, they grow up in like a cushion. They really have the perspective that there's really something super special. Often there are just one child and the parents are super protective. So I really doubt that this can actually help people and young people, which then develop into leaders. And I think also the leading generation now is already at that point where self-awareness is something that they have not really learned, because everything they've done was really good. All marks in school, it was really easy for them. Like this year, the Corona year, every student in Germany passed the year just because it was Corona. So I doubt that this is actually in the future the right setup.
I think that's a very good point from both of you. And here in the States, that's often called being helicopter parents. Everything that the parents are involved in pressing and constraining and scheduling the kids continually. And one of the challenges that we see in millennials coming into the workforce is that they have to learn how to actually participate effectively in collaborative activities and in the early stages of being a leader. First, you have to develop that self-awareness.
Interestingly, most leaders don't want to admit things like self-awareness or empathy. They just want to lead. They think you got to be hard charging. But during these times, like Lily said, when people are working from home, they're nervous, they're frustrated. Leaders have to be a whole lot more. And this kind of leadership style is something that is made to order for the pandemic.
It certainly is. So let's go to the next, self-regulation. What do we think that means? What's that stand for?
Controlling your emotions, isn't it?
That's, that's simply said.
Well, you get leaders get frustrated and scared and nervous, and they lash out. Don, we've talked to several of our clients whose leaders are really at the end of their ropes.
Right.
You gotta pace yourself and be careful during these times.
When some of these leaders get to be the end of their rope, some of their employees wish they were at the end of their rope.
Yeah,
Really,
and self-regulation in this context is also that you have to really think strategically. So how do you communicate the bad news to your employees? So, but still keeping empathy for them. Yeah. So, or also being in media reviews where it's not all like pushy and nice. So really being able to communicate in a human way without this being leader. Hey, I told you this, and you will do it because I'm the boss here. But really finding ways to convince people about what you want to tell them. And in the ideal case, of course, you buy them in so that they think, okay, well, that's a good idea, or this was my idea. It's not, I'm just agreeing with my team lead or my boss. And here to know the tools and the mechanisms and the psychology behind, this is a really powerful tool for all leaders, or not only for leaders. I mean, even if you go moms regulating or leading their families and kids, if they would be aware of this and know how to use it, that would be a really helpful and powerful option and tool as well.
I think it's very good. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Mikey, go ahead.
No, I was actually just thinking that self-regulation probably also needs time. And I feel that we're in such a fast-paced world, also leaders, they're confronted with something, maybe it's actually some of their teammates that is actually a bit unnerving. And because we think we need immediate reaction and immediate decision, instead of maybe going on back and also reflecting and actually thinking, well, is that a problem that occurs due to work, or because maybe my teammate triggers something within me and I really need to regulate in order to be the leader I'm supposed to be? So I think that could really be also something that is in the way, just our fast-paced surroundings.
I think that's an excellent point. And Lily's point, that even moms, this isn't just about work. This isn't just about, your career. This is about life. And so we're really talking about something that's broad-based as a human value or a human skill set. And but now, how do we apply it at work, where it's so very important right now? But don't forget to bring it home as well.
Well, this is a broad topic that is certainly made for these times. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll be back again to talk more about this. Thank you.
Looking forward.
See you soon.